So I am recording now. So, oh, there is Erin. She's there. Today I wanted to do something a little different because I want to recognize this group. There's been a lot of you that have been doing awesome, and there's so many of you that have completed every single assignment up to this point, and there's many of you that have almost completed all of them. And so this has been a really good turnout for a Coach Basics. So Erin and I are pretty pumped about that. And that tells us that you're committed. And when you're committed and consistent, even if you're not seeing immediate results, you will. You definitely will, because it's all about consistency, which we'll talk about. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to read through some names and some things that have been accomplished this month, which I think is pretty awesome. The people that have completed all of the assignments so far, I know you saw it on the post, but Joy Nakfor has, Ashley West, Kristen Tice, Darlene Williams, Christina Hilgen, Sharon Malloy, Lindsay Delaney, Dana Grill, Kelly Piersma, Jody Carmer. So all of those people have completed every single assignment, and there's many more that have completed most of the assignments. So that's pretty awesome. And then I also want to recognize some people that have sold a few items. So Ashley's at Success Club 3, which is awesome. I know she just sold her first challenge pack last week. So it sounds like she sold a challenge pack and then probably just a Shakeology order. And then she also has 2 coach possibilities, which is great. Holly Coley, she's an Emerald coach, and she is like going fast and furious, and she's getting closer to Diamond. And she's at Success Club 18, which is pretty incredible. And Christina Hilgen, she's an Emerald. Stephanie Lewandowski's Emerald at Success Club 2. Lindsay Delaney's an Emerald with a Success Club 3. Dana's at Success Club 2, Dana Grill. Kelly Piersma recently hit Emerald and is at Success Club 2. Kristen Idzikowski, I probably butchered your name. I'm sorry, Kristen. I can never say your last name. She's at Success Club 8, and she's also on track to be a Success Starter. And what that means is that the first 3 months of your business, if you hit Success Club, you're considered a Success Starter. So she's on month 2, and she's at Success Club last month and this month already. So, and what that does for you is that it, hey Jack, is that it gives her a free ticket to Summit in the summer, which is awesome. And then Jody Carmer has Success Club 5, Kaylee Duchesne has Success Club 6, and Tiffany Sumner has Success Club 2. So that's pretty good, I would say, for a lot of new coaches to start, hitting some early goals. And I know that if everyone stays consistent with what, some of the things that we've shared with you, you're going to be successful. And I think, one thing I really wanted to hit on was truly the importance of consistency, because with this business, it's one of those things where in the beginning, you're like working for like 5 cents an hour, it seems like sometimes. You're doing a lot of front loading in the beginning, but I promise you, and I know the other coaches that have been doing this for a while, Christy's on the call, I see her, and Erin, in the beginning, you're not going to make, a ton of money. It's just the reality of it. You might hit some success early on, but I don't want you to feel like discouraged if, you're not where you want to be right away. But if you stay consistent every single day, it'll be a slow uphill climb, and then sometimes it'll go up fast. So just believe us and trust us with that. And consistency is, it's like, and I've had a couple of road bumps this month. Honestly, it's been a slower month for me. And I honestly, every day I have to remind myself, blinders on, just do what my daily behaviors, enjoy it, because I do enjoy doing this. And I know that it will happen, and it does. And you start seeing those fruits of that, because once you stop, that's when you're going to see some breaks in your progress. So, consistency allows for measurement. It's like one of those things where that if you're doing these things, you can kind of just be proud of yourself for doing those things every day. Create those lists on Sundays. That's what I do. I create a list for the week, and then I plug it into my business hours all week. I know we talked about it in one of the posts, but, just do those things every day, and you will start seeing success. So, doing those vital behaviors, posting 3 to 5 times a day, getting your workouts in, I would say at least 4 days a week would be good. Maybe more. I know a lot of you guys do it more than that, so that's awesome. And the thing is you want to have a to-do list every single day that you're going to check off, and plug those into your business hours that I know many of you have identified hours that you're going to be working the business. So, stick with that and you'll see that reward for that. The other thing that consistency does is it helps you create a reputation for yourself. And as you're building a team, you want to do things that you want your team to do, and some of you are starting to already build a team. You've got a few coaches under you. If you do the things that you want your team to do, your team will start doing what you're doing. So you have to kind of lead by example. And even if you don't have a coach yet, you just keep doing that and it grows quickly. So, let me see, what else was I going to say about that? I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you can get those things down, I think we're going to be golden. Erin and I were talking about beyond this group. I mean, we still have 4 more days, of this group, but we are going to do a Push to Diamond group in April, which is optional. And it's going to basically take everything you've learned this month to the next level. And it's going to be focused more on adding coaches and being a leader, as opposed to, doing your vital behaviors and things like that. So start thinking about that. Later this week, we'll be asking you who's interested and get you in that group. So it'll be a similar format in that we'll have daily things for you to do. And we'll try to do kind of the similar format as to what we're doing here, is like kind of checking in to make sure people are doing their assignments. And, by us keeping you accountable, I feel like it's been helpful because you guys are actually you're doing a great job with that. So trying to think what else. So who has questions? Who has things they want to address at this point in time? Does anyone have anything they want to share or questions they have, like where to go from here, that kind of thing?
I do. I was trying to, I just hit Emerald, but I wanted to see what I needed to do to be able to get the free leads. And I was trying to change my pictures, and my computer wouldn't let me go in to do any pictures at all on my computer. And that might be a tech question, but I tried to do it on my phone, and all my pictures showed up sideways.
Oh, geez.
And so I don't know how to do that. Do I just have to I don't know how to retake photos, or maybe you can talk with me later about that. And then the other thing is, it said that it listed Success Club 5 and 10. Do I need to reach both of those first before I get leads?
Yes. You have to be Emerald. Definitely.
Right.
And then Success Club 5, yes, that's where you'll get the free leads.
Okay.
Success Club 10, you get free Shakeology leads, which basically are customers that are purchasing Shakeology, so you get a commission. It's awesome. So it kind of benchmarks it for you. So, and now that you're Emerald, if you hit Success Club 5, which there's still plenty of time, it takes about a month for you to get your first lead. And, but yeah, like you said, that's good that you already know that you have to make sure your website's set up. You need to have your pictures in there. You have to have like the bio in there. They have some weird requirements to make sure. Christy, is there anything else? I can't remember if there's anything else that they need for the free leads. I think you're on mute. It's just
you have
like
to make
the
sure
bio.
the profile is up to date.
Right.
Mine's at like 66%, but I still, yeah.
Yeah. So I think if you have that before and after picture and then you have a bio in there, I think you're pretty good with that. But
I'm pretty sure that my picture is sideways too, and I never changed it, and I get leads just fine.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't send people to my website all that often. I'm going to be honest with you. So I don't really care what they see. It just has to be a picture. It doesn't have to even be a true before and true after. I mean, you might want to use a picture of you like a year ago and then a picture of you currently, but it doesn't have to be like you in a sports bra or anything like that.
They're not attractive photos that I put up there. I mean, like my profile picture is, but the other ones, I mean, it was I didn't even have my sports bra on. It was just after the baby, like 2 months after baby. So
Yeah.
anyway, okay.
It'll show a good impact then. Yeah. So I wouldn't read too much as long as you have pictures in there. Yeah, I agree with you, because my pictures that I have in there, whatever.
Should we put family photos or no? Like, or should we just keep it to our photos of ourselves?
Of yourself. Yeah.
Okay.
I think mine, I have one of my kids with me, but yeah, I would try to keep it yourself though.
Okay.
But yeah, hit Success Club, and then you'll start getting, and you find your leads by going under, in your Coach Online office, under My Business and My Orders. For some reason, when you go under My Leads, I don't know why, and I don't know if anyone else can explain that, but I don't find my leads under there. I go under My Orders, and I'll see, even free customers, even if they haven't ordered anything, you'll have a new customer in there. And then once you get a free customer, once those leads start coming, Kelly, you want to reach out to them, send them an email, and we have some scripts and things that, like, a lot of us have different things that we use, but to send them an email. And sometimes I send a card if they've ordered something that I'm making commission. I'll physically do snail mail to them just to thank them, just so that they know I'm a real person.
Okay.
And that's up to you.
Do those leads get updated every day, or is it like once a week?
I find that they're kind of random. I will say I probably get like 4 or 5 a month, and it's variable. And I think because Beachbody is growing exponentially too, that they're having to spread them out amongst more. They actually used to give free Shakeology leads after Success Club 5, and they changed that rule about 6 months ago, that you have to get Success Club 10 because, so many people were getting it, and I don't know. So, but yeah, it's kind of random. I just kind of check every few days to see if I have a new lead. And I might get one a week, something along those lines. So it's a nice little perk, especially the Success Club 10. If you hit Success Club 10, you're going to basically get free commission, which is great. Anyone else have any other questions about that or anything else?
I have one more. I just got charged for my Shakeology, but I'm not able to track the shipments. How long is it in between before you get charged and you get your next shipment?
Usually 5 business days-ish.
Okay.
There's sometimes, I know in December there were some shipping issues for a lot of coaches where it took us longer, and none of us were really sure what that was, but they seem to be working on that. So I'd say usually within a week.
Beachbody On Demand, do you get charged? I thought someone said it was every quarter that you get charged for that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
First month free, and then you get charged, and then after that it's every 3 months. And you do need to have the Beachbody On Demand to get those leads as well. So that's another kind of weird requirement. But honestly, I use the On Demand every day because I work out with my computer. I'm on the phone, honey. So I use it all the time, and it's kind of cool to check out some other workouts as well. But that's another one of those weird requirements. And
if my husband, he's not working the business, but we will have like 3 bags of Shakeology because he's not drinking it. What my situation is. If he becomes inactive, do I lose my Emerald Coach, or can I skip a month and he still stays active, or how does that work? He doesn't have to have Shakeology HG to be active. So if you want to cancel it, you can. He just needs 50 PV, which could either be through an order through you, which could be like, we order the boost. We order a couple boosts through Greg's account, or if you sell something and put it under his name, that would cover it as well. So okay. Kind of the rule of thumb, and I was talking to Holly about this earlier this week because she's at Success Club 18, is, if you're having a hot month, hit Success Club 10 and then put the other ones under your spouse so that you can get your Shakeology, and then you can start cycling and put some orders under your spouse or, your significant other or whatever. So it's kind of a good way to maximize your profit. Honey, when I'm done. So, let's say this month or next month you explode and you get to put
in order to enter Josh, you don't even have to order anything. You'll be set. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So you don't have to spend the extra money to keep him active.
Okay. That's good.
Yep. So I guess moving forward, really we've provided all of the basics that you need, for continuing this business. So, but at this point, we have our team page. You have your upline coach. You always have me too. If I'm not your direct upline, you can still always reach out to me or Aaron or Christy, any of the coaches, and ask any questions anytime. Like, that's kind of my policy is, and I may not always know the answer, and I'm the first one to admit it. I'll reach out to someone as well. Also make use of, get really familiar with your Coach Online office. And to be honest, I'm still learning different things. Get used to the FAQs. If you can't reach me or you can't reach anyone and you need to know an answer quickly, go on your Coach Online office. Usually you'll find it. If you go under Coach FAQs, you can find a lot of answers that way. But that's what we have Team All-Stars for. I've added my coaches into Team All-Stars and Team Fierce Focus. There's also a bigger team called Team Body Burn, which is Sarah Lenore. Some of you may be in that group or not. And that Sarah Lenore is a few generations up from me, but her team is gigantic, and it can be a good resource. I don't typically add coaches in there just because it gets to be overwhelming, but if it's something that you wanted to be a part of, let me know and we'll make sure to add you. Because sometimes I'll even post something in Body Burn because there's so many coaches in there. I know someone's going to have the answer. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coaches in there that are technically in our team, but would be considered in our upline. So the other thing that's coming up is there is a Super Saturday, and I know I posted in Team All-Stars and many of you are going. And I was just doing a search to find out when they're putting those tickets on sale, which they haven't yet. They should soon. But every 3 months there's a Super Saturday, and usually there's something local to wherever you're at. And okay. And the one locally for us is Grand Rapids. I know there's a Chicago one. Sorry, Jason, on a movie right now. And those are always really great. All right, Jason, that's enough. Go. Those are always really great ways to it really honestly helps keep you excited and rejuvenated. And it's also cool to see all these faces that we see right here in person, and oh my gosh, Christy and I, we've known each other for 2 years and we've met once, but we're going to get to know each other better because we'll both be at Summit this summer, and, we'll see each other at the next Super Saturday and things like that. So it really is exciting to see everyone face to face, and we get all excited. But typically at these Super Saturdays, they'll do a workout. Sometimes they'll have a live training. I know a trainer there. Last time there was Jericho, she's one of the new trainers. And then the time before that, they had Janelle Summers, which was awesome. She's a top coach, but she also does a lot of, she's Shailene Johnson's sister. So that was really cool. So otherwise they'll do just they'll have it on the screen and there'll be hundreds of coaches working out, and then they'll do some sort of educational thing or motivational, something that we can learn something from being there. It's pretty exciting. So it's good to go to those events, and they're pretty cheap. So around between 10 and 15 bucks. So
is it always in Grand Rapids?
There's quite a few, because honestly, anyone can host a Super Saturday if you're willing to. But this girl, Leslie, I can't think of her last name. Do you remember her last name, Christy?
Is it Leslie Cortman or?
Yeah,
Cortman, something like that.
Yeah, she's a coach.
Cortez, Kortes.
There you go. So she's been hosting it for a long time, and so it's grown to be a big event. I know there's some in Detroit. There's some in different parts of Michigan. You can Google it, and you'll see there's hundreds and hundreds all over the United States. So, but Grand Rapids has always been a really solid, good one. And she always has a good turnout, and there's usually someone of quality that's presenting. Anita Myron was at the last one, or 2 times ago, and she's, a top 10 coach. So she obviously had some really good information to share. So it's kind of exciting to go and see what they have to say. So getting to those live events are big. So
I was going to say something about the Shakeology, getting a little back stack of 3 bags. Another option would be to get it in the packets so you can either share with people or use that for prizes and challenge groups. Or if you're traveling, that's nice to have. And there's only 24 in there. So then you're not, that's just another option.
that's a good point, because if you're stocked up, Kelly, you're good for a while. So your next shipment, you might want to make the packet version so that you can, I sell some packets depending on the situation. If I know someone's super serious, I will just give them a packet. If they're just kind of, just wanting to taste it, then I'll charge them $4 or $5 and just have them PayPal it to me. Because by the time you mail it too, it ends up being a couple extra dollars on top of that. But it is nice to have a bunch of samples. And like you said, Christy, you can take it on the go too for yourself. But yeah. All right. What else does everyone have for us?
I have a question.
Mhm.
I was trying to find the placement form, and I couldn't find it online. And I'm sure it's probably somewhere really obvious, but I couldn't find it.
What do you mean placement form?
For like when you're, I'm not even sure of the language. So when you're trying to build your team or build it, like assign that spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I couldn't find it. And like I said, maybe it's somewhere real obvious, but I couldn't see it.
Well, it's not really a form. So you're talking about
Oh.
setting placement?
Yeah,
I could show you right now. I'll share the screen real quick.
okay.
Because that's really important.
Because I wanted to ask someone to do, to help me out with that. And then
Yeah, it'll only take a moment. So I know I've shown many of you, but some of you might still have a question. I don't know. Let me just pull up something.
thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Because it is important, because where you place a coach can affect your income quite a bit. And so always, obviously check with consult with your upline coach. I still consult with
Absolutely.
sometimes when I'm like, should I put it here or there? And she's usually gives me some good input. All right. So your coach online office, you go to my business,
Uh-huh,
my downline,
right.
and then graphical genealogy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll see this page here. You have a couple of options. You can, right here, you can see that my placement is already set for the right side.
Mm-hmm.
So, or you can just change it to the left. Okay.
Right, I saw that. I was kind of tinkering with it a little bit.
You can do it either that way, or you can click on go to bottom left or go to bottom right.
Mm-hmm.
I usually do this. I don't know, because I'm weird, because I want to make sure it goes right where I want them. You always want it the outside leg here. And then you'll
Right.
on it, and then it will say it's set for placement. And that's it.
Oh, I thought there was an actual form.
Mm-mm. Nope. So that's that. And the other thing is
That makes sense. No wonder I couldn't find the form. There wasn't one.
Good thing you asked. Well, the nice thing is, though, is even if, always check after you have a coach sign up, where they were put, just in case. Because, it's happened to all of us. Like Christine and I recently, she had an issue where a coach didn't go where she thought it went. And it's always good to double check, because you do have a couple of days where you can send an email and have a coach moved, and they'll switch it. But then after those couple of days, it's permanent forever and ever. They won't switch it again. So,
Got it.
but you still get a little grace
Situation,
period.
you have to get in touch with corporate to do that. You can't just move it on your genealogy.
You can't. You have to email coach relations, and then you have to be super specific. Like, I want such and such name, their coach ID number placed on the outside right leg of this coach, my coach, or of my account, and then put your account number. So you have to be super specific, but they do it. I've never had a problem. I've had to change a few times. And within a couple of days it's fixed. So it's not a big deal.
Thank you.
Yep. No problem. Anything else for us? All right, so like I said, we have through this week, Erin and I are kind of putting together I think we kind of have something already put together for Push to Diamond. And then we'll have more details for that. We're also going to do another Coach Basics group in March. April. Where am I? What am I? In April, so that, any coaches that you've signed up this month should go in that group, anyone that wants to work the business. With that said, those of you who have Success Club points that I mentioned earlier, and I know Erin has mentioned it before, and I've touched on it before too, is, make sure that you follow up with those people. If they're not coaches already, follow up with them 3 weeks in, see how they're doing with their program, how they like Shakeology. Talk to them about at least becoming a discount member, if not a working coach. You should be able to convert, I would say, at least half of those sales to coaches. Because if they love Shakeology, they're going to want it at a discount, period. Some people they question like, why, I don't understand what this means. Just, it's really, truly, I explained to them, you don't have to sell a thing. It's truly, you're paying $15 so you can get a discount is what it comes down to. And so you just kind of have to explain that to people. But, and sometimes the best discount coaches turn into the best coaches, right, Christy? So, just because they're a discount coach doesn't mean that they won't work the business at some point, especially if they're dedicated and committed to the programs and if they love Shakeology. So make sure, those of you who have Success Club points already, and then those of you, I know you will get Success Club points, make sure you follow up with those people because you will get coaches out of the deal. That's where I get most of mine each month. We also have a What is Coaching call. I know I mentioned it in Team All-Stars. We'll have another one in April. Third week of April, I believe. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind, and that's intended for people who are considering working the business. And I know personally I've had success getting working coaches out of those calls, which is awesome. And I know, a lot of the other coaches have as well. So kind of keep that in mind. It's another event to keep in for people who might be serious about the business.
I have another question about cycling. Is that every week that they do the cycling?
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking, like last week, I should have totally bought something, I think, so I would have been able to cycle once. But so this week I looked and it was only my husband and my Shakeology that's there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you make your purchases, is it a planned event? Like when you're like, oh, this week I should make the purchase because it'll cycle?
Well, you get $14 per cycle for...
So I shouldn't worry about it until I get...
I wouldn't worry about it. Because then you're just spending money to make $14. Really, you're going to start cycling more seriously once you start building more on your team. So, once you get more team volume on both legs, that's where you're going to start seeing it. And you can see your volume, it's under My Business, and you scroll down and you see My Volume, and you'll see right in there, and it will tell you where you're at, and it resets every Thursday. So you can kind of gauge it and see where, kind of where you stand and what kind of commission check you'll get based on volume by just kind of looking at it. I check mine every day just because I'm curious. And you may or may not, Kelly.
Okay.
I'm done. Okay. So, yeah. And you won't start seeing that until you're Emerald, obviously. And maybe not even until you get a couple more, especially if you get an order under your husband, you'll definitely start getting volume from that. You'll get commission for your husband, and then you'll get volume as you'll cycle up. So if that makes sense. But you will get volume on your strong leg from the coaches that other coaches have added once you're an Emerald. That's where you start benefiting from that strong leg. That's why building that weak leg gets to be important, because you want that volume to pick up on your weak leg, because you're pretty much solely responsible for your weak leg until you start building a team, and then that team will also help out. But your strong leg already has your upline adding coaches like myself or, some other people. That's where you're seeing the coaches. And I've had questions from people like, who are these people? I'm like, those are other coaches. They will benefit you once you become an Emerald, Diamond, and beyond. But right now it doesn't benefit you until you become at least an Emerald, and you get volume on both legs. So, can you see what's going on? Sorry, my husband's down and out, so I'm like on parent duty. Also, he's got like the flu or something. So they're like running the house right now. Come here. Can you sit on my lap? Does anyone have any other questions or anything like that? For the good of the order.
Can I play on his phone?
There you go. So, I guess that's it. Obviously, you can always ask us questions. Obviously, you can always ask us questions beyond this point. You can make a decision if you want to go into our Push to Diamond once we share more information. But I would start thinking about, like, what are your longer term goals? And I know we talked about goals last week, but, what's your commitment level? Some of you might be hobby coaches. Some of you might really want to make this a serious career. Then you have to kind of think about, what am I willing to put into this? And, and recognize that in the beginning, you're not going to be making thousands of dollars a week, but if you stay consistent, you will start to see that grow. So that, again, that consistency will make a difference. Okay, I see your question, Dana. Strong leg, weak leg. Yeah. Does anyone else have questions about the strong leg, weak leg?
That's me.
I know. Otherwise, Dana and I, we can talk separately about that. And I think I did post a little video in the group about the strong legged, weak leg. But it's kind of confusing in the beginning until you start really seeing it, until you start seeing the benefits of it. Sometimes it doesn't sink in right away.
Oh, can you at some point post something else about all the different ways that you can make commission? Because that video, it showed, that guy talked about 10 different ways. And when you described it before, the terms weren't matching up for everything. And so it was confusing to me.
Okay. Yeah. You know what I'll do is I'll post like a document that you can look at. You probably can find some stuff on Coach Online Office too, but I'll post something in the group so it's easier for everyone to find. But the top two ways definitely is commission, team cycle bonus, but there's a bunch of different ways to get other little weird bonuses, but I'll post something like that.
Because he said something about you can make up to like 4 different business offices. And I know that's it's down the road for me, but like, I didn't understand how that worked either.
You can have up to 15, but you can't add business centers until you get to certain ranks. Once you get to 2-star, you can add a second business center. Once you get that second business center to 2-star, then you can add another business center, and so on and so forth. And then it maxes out at 15 business centers. So that's where some of these coaches are making millions of dollars a year is that cycling.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But I'll post something for you.
Okay.
Are we good to go? Does anyone have anything else? Are we good for now? All right, cool. What I will do is Dana will touch base, and then I'll post the more detailed explanation of the compensation plan. And then you can always post questions in the group. Obviously, we have the rest of this week. Make a decision about the Diamond group. And then obviously your upline coach will constantly be following up with you to kind of see where you're at and that kind of stuff. So, all righty. Thanks for getting on. Thanks for being patient with my kids since, Greg's upstairs snoozing and not on this call. So anyway, all right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, Sarah.